Carter Verhaeghe, and this hit. Let's pretend Artem Zub knows Carter Verhaeghe's there, even if he does know he's there. This is a boarding call 10 times out of 10, and this hit was assessed for a major, so they could review it, and then they made it a minor.
I think boarding should be a minor such a small percentage of the time.
Most of the time, it should be a major. Yeah, or 4 minutes at least. Like this is an ugly hit. So for anybody not who's listening, Verhaeghe and Zub are in the corner. The puck has skirted around to it's the bottom right corner of the Senators' ice. Zub is about 3 feet away from the boards. Verhaeghe is right behind him, and as Zub goes for the puck, Verhaeghe basically pushes him in the midsection, and Zub does the Bobby Orr right into the Desjardins sign in the boards.
Leave it there. Ah, damn! Like, look at his fucking neck. Oh my god, dude. That's an awful hit. Awful hit. Right into the end boards. And look who it is. Look who it is. It's not even just that it's Carter Verhaeghe.
It's the Panthers.
Although it's funny, people were like, he is not this type of player, and Tampa Bay fans were like, he is absolutely this type of player.
Of course he's that type of player. They all are.
Atlantic Division fans are ganging up on the Panthers like friggin' the Avengers. And, I mean, right now they're Thanos, right? 3 straight cup finals. They're reigning Stanley Cup champions, back to back. This being called a major, being reviewed for a minor, or reviewed to be a minor, and then not even getting fined or talked about or suspended or nothing the next day is so bad. And I reached out to someone in hockey media, like outside of, our little echo chamber. And I'm like, okay, let's have a conversation. I need to ask you a question, like as a peer. So this hit went viral online, actually viral, and everyone was talking about it, and there was footage of it, and we saw it happen.
Was it just a Twitter account?
Yeah, no statement here though, and I think most people would have preferred it. Last year, Matthew Nyes got hit. People didn't know why it wasn't a suspension. The NHL Department of Player Safety released a video about why.
That was a Zach Whitecloud hit?
Yes.
Yep.
They didn't have to do that for us. They did it. I appreciate that they did it, and they are never going to do it again. Ever for the rest of our lives. They did a kindness once. We still hate them. And so they're like, you know what? Why are we doing the extra work if they're going to hate us anyway? Well, because you're wrong. But also, I appreciated it at the time. I didn't hate you for that. Anyway, this happens. It goes viral. And my question was, okay, so I don't know why it's a minor and not a major. And the person I spoke to is a former player. I go, why is that a minor and not a major? He goes, I don't know. So, okay, you got podcasting idiot who doesn't know, because of course he doesn't know. But then you got player who doesn't know. What are you going to say? Of course he doesn't know? He doesn't know because it's unjustifiable. Who do we reach out to? Who is the conduit to the fans that the fans are sitting there at your door, right? Like, imagine the NHL like an ice cream truck, right? And you're there and you got your money and you're so excited for ice cream. Ice cream is hockey in this analogy, right? You're standing there and you're so excited for ice cream. And you start to ask questions about the ice cream. Because there's actually no signage on the ice cream truck. And you go, can I have some ice cream? And they go, yeah. And you go, what kind do you have? And you go, and they go, just give me your money. That's essentially what's happening here. Why isn't this a hit? Or why isn't this a 5? Why isn't this a fine? Why isn't this a suspension? Those are questions we're just throwing out into the ether, and who answers it? Who answers it? Do we talk to Gary? Okay. Do we talk to Bill Daly? Okay. Do we talk to Colin Campbell? Okay. Do we talk to George Peros? Okay. Do we talk to Ryan Getzlaff? No, he's too busy doing podcasts about how Toronto is the devil. Blah, 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 blah. So who do we speak to about things we don't understand about a sport that we want to understand better and spend more money on and spend more passion on and attention on? No one. We just have to shut up and eat our slop.
When it comes to this hit, Jesse, is there anything that you see that goes that I could see why they didn't call that?
Yeah, if I look at the Mikko Rantanen hit from earlier on Alexander Romanov, earlier when he wasn't suspended, it's a very similar boarding play. I thought this should have been a suspension at the time. I thought his subsequent boarding penalty should have also been a suspension, but the Department of Player Safety did not think either of those were suspension worthy. But go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the one bit of defense here is like there's no speed limit on the ice. Rantanen is going for a puck. He kind of trips over 24 there on the Islanders. I forget who's 24. And he hits Romanov. It's bad. It's very, very bad. And the boarding itself, like the actual collision, is very, very similar to this. The difference is Verhaeghe's going much slower and has no obstacles in his way to say, oh, I lost my footing or whatever. No, he just goes in straight and creams the guy.
Totally.
So everyone got up in arms about this Rantanen thing. I think what Verhaeghe did is worse. The difference, I guess, is Zub isn't out 5-6 months.
Yeah. The injury is the difference.
Romanov is going to miss more months with this injury than there have been suspensions this season. There have been 4. Or sorry, there have been 4 hearings, and Rantanen got 1 game because he got kicked out of back-to-back games, so that's 5. Even still, it won't match it.
So in terms of the defense for the Department of Player Safety, I think that's where they would try to give some sort of, hey, this is why we did that, in this case with Verhaeghe. But I look at this incident and I say, okay, here, Rantanen, he was given a match penalty, which is different than the call on Verhaeghe. That was 2 minutes for boarding. In the subsequent game, also a match penalty, also a boarding call. And then earlier in the season, in a game that Verhaeghe was in and also laid a vicious check in, JJ Moser was suspended 2 games for boarding. And it was a little more malicious than the Verhaeghe play, but throughout this entire season, their defense for anything they've done in this case for Verhaeghe, it starts to crumble when you look at how they've tried to be consistent with the way they've called anything throughout this entire season.
Who was the JJ Moser hit against?
It was in the same game, like I said. It was, I don't remember the player who he checked.
What was the team?
The Panthers, yes. I mentioned Verhaeghe was also in that game and laid a vicious hit. Yeah.
No, I just, for emphasis.
Yeah.
For emphasis.
So I don't think there's any defense. This is the Moser play, by the way, that received 2 games. So the Department of Player Safety looks at this play on Boquist.
That's a terrible hit.
It's a terrible hit. It is much more malicious than the Verhaeghe play. But at the end of the day, Moser was suspended for boarding, which I think this is a malicious boarding. But the other one, I think it's probably a game, probably a fine, at least a misconduct in the game for Verhaeghe. And I think it's ridiculous that he's given nothing.
I don't think there is nearly 3 games worth of difference.
No.
Between these 2 hits.
That's exactly it. This is 2 games and the other is 2 minutes. And that to me is so inconsistent and the incorrect way to manage your game in terms of penalties for the players on the ice.
So I was told about Hanlon's razor when I brought up my conspiracy theory about Colin Campbell and how he's a disgrace and doesn't belong anywhere near the NHL. He should literally be blackballed, and he's in the frigging Hall of Fame. It's a disgrace. So I brought that up, and they're like, well, have you ever heard of Hanlon's razor? And it's basically, people use malice to try to explain what can just as easily be explained by incompetence. The NHL
Never attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by stupidity.
There you go. Oh, that's even better. I should have just read it.
I just Googled it.
Thank you.
Any relation to Hanlon's Point
No.
here in Toronto?
None.
Ooh.
Isn't that the nude beach?
Do they share?
I'm pretty sure Hanlon's Point.
Is that where you lost your ring?
No, that was Woodbine Beach. Yeah.
They don't share any brotherhood. The two Hanlons.
No.
So
The razor and the point.
No.
is the league rigged in the Panthers' favor? Well, that's a sexy headline. More likely, they're just bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so bad. And the Panthers are smart. Because they're like, girl, murder is in. And they just play that style because the NHL saw the Four Nation face-off last year. And like a lot of Americans, only acknowledge the round robin game. And they said, violence sells. And one day, is someone going to break their neck? Sure. But that day hasn't arrived yet, so let the good times roll. That's what they've decided. This is how we make money. This is how we get people to pay attention. Beginning, middle, end. Unless the one little hitch in the giddy up though. So I want to let go of the Colin Campbell thing. I do. I want to, but wait a minute. Why was JJ Moser given a 2-game suspension then? No. I thought this was in. No. Yeah, we're trying to sell the. But wait a sec. You do punish some people though.
Mm-hmm.
Who are those people? What do they do, and who do they do it against? Colin Campbell got caught trying to influence his son's games, was never punished for it, and the question I asked was, what reason is there to believe that he ever stopped? Never got a good answer from anyone.
So we'll leave it at that. Sens fans, I do think you got a little jobbed there.